Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. How are my audio levels, by the way? People were saying in my comment section that my videos are always too quiet. I tried to raise things up. Let me know if this is okay. I'm trying to make it so it's easy. I don't have to do all this post-production audio editing. But yeah, let me know. All right, so I want to talk about this. Margot. Oh my gosh. Margot. That name fooled me. Atwell. So you might remember she was the Kickstarter director of publishing and comics outreach, who replaced Camilla Zong, who was, all this happened in 1 year. Marga is being replaced by yet another comics and outreach person. This is the job that just cannot stay filled. And I want to go over this article, which is actually kind of interesting, and I think there are some important things to gain from it, and that's Kickstarter's bounce back after a hard year. That's the headline. All right, we'll get into that. Downcast, rise and fall. Look at this. We passed 43,000. We're still selling books. What would just make me so happy is to have 1,000 backers on a Downcast campaign. We're awfully close to that. That would be amazing. So we're still getting new backers. Appreciate everyone that's backed this. Downcast number 3 is coming. I want to have the thing finished. We're very close to being finished before we launch, but know that it is coming. Also, Fatal, look at this. We're 1, maybe 2 backers, depending on what they back, away from hitting $89,000. Fantastic, and we could be up to 2,000 backers here. One of the best comic books you're going to see anywhere, period. It's beautiful. Check it out, back it, help us. And if you don't have a t-shirt yet, I've got these shipping. They're coming. So as soon as I get these t-shirts, I'm going to start shipping them out, because why not? So yeah, check it out. All right, here's the article. After a hard year, Kickstarter bounces back. This is from Self-Publishing, Publishers Weekly on self-publishing, and it's interesting because, okay, so normally I see a headline like that and I see, hey, people want to love Kickstarter. For so long, Kickstarter has been synonymous with what crowdfunding is. Everyone wants to love Kickstarter, and they're willing to put up a lot of shill press just to make it so. But actually, when you look into this article, the facts don't lie. Kickstarter did have a comeback, and I think that they actually have Indiegogo, they actually have Comicsgate to thank for that. Hear me out. Here we go. Despite the pandemic, the round of layoffs and buyouts is heralded. Kickstarter continued to be an important source of funding for independent comic creators. Self-published prose authors, I wonder how much prose they have. I haven't really seen any campaigns for novels. And small publishers. Since the crowdfunding platform launched back in 2009, the comics category has raised over $127 million, according to the company. Yeah. So in 2020, the comics category had a 73% success rate. That is huge. And I have to wonder what the percent success rate is for Indiegogo campaigns as well. I'm curious. But if you think as far as crowdfunding goes, that really is amazing. It says a couple things. Either people are coming to crowdfunding more prepared than they were before. I think that's definitely part of the case. And I know for a fact that a lot of people, including professionals, watch videos like mine and others, many others. There's so much more content out there about how to successfully crowdfund a comic book, and how to set your expectations accordingly so that you have a successful campaign and, you're not a total loser. You're not in the remaining percentage. You are one of the 73%. There's a lot more content than there was when I started. It wasn't even that long ago. 2 years ago, the way that I saw how it worked is you just watch other people and you sort of dissect what they're doing. I think there's some good resources out there, but today it's like, you look at, there's just so much. There's videos specific to how to crowdfund exactly, down to like every little detail. And I'll see the Australians. They've got this form sheet going around with how to crowdfund. I think it's an Excel sheet, and it has tips like from everything that they've collected. Replicator Rob has collected, and there's just tons of good information out there. And so I think that adds to the success rate. Yes, even on Kickstarter, I know for a fact, because I know that many people that would not dare to go, they would not dare to go to Indiegogo. They want to go to Kickstarter. They're still watching all the same videos. They're still getting all the same guides. They're watching all of this stuff because it'll transfer over to Kickstarter as well for the most part. All right, let's see. It has raised more than $25 million across more than 1,600 projects. The previous best year for comics was 2019, 1 year ago, when it generated $16.9 million in donations across from, they call them donations, across from 1,500 projects. So they actually had more money raised in 2020 than they did in 2019. This was despite all the people. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. In the spring, everyone was saying it was not a good look to run a crowdfunding campaign. It was a bad idea. We should stop all publishing. Everyone should, it's some kind of suicide pact. And I railed against it at the time. It didn't take long for everyone to realize that they have to still make money. And if they weren't publishing books, if they weren't getting into comic book shops, they were going to have to do something else. You have to continue doing business. And so they went to crowdfunding, and they could also thank Keanu Reeves for those big numbers as well, I've got to say. All right. So, but much like every business, Kickstarter was hammered by a pandemic and subsequent nationwide lockdowns. However, I'm going to push back here. They didn't have to be hammered by lockdowns. They were hammered by stigma. By, hey, if lockdowns are happening, shouldn't we be struggling with business too? Shouldn't we be hurting for money? That's what happened. There's no reason why crowdfunding would be affected directly by lockdowns. It might push back your, if you're printing books and, shipping books and things like that, but you could still be raising money. I mean, you could still send things to I did it. I printed during the pandemic. Many people did. It might have been a little bit of a delay, but you're not talking about, no reason to run a crowdfunding campaign. This was an artificial, what is it? Artificial symptom. It was self-inflicted. It wasn't because of the lockdowns. All right, continuing on here. With new campaigns declining by as much as 40%, fewer campaigns in March and April, the resulting drop of revenue forced it to announce a round of 25 layoffs in May. Okay, I believe that this was an opportunity for Kickstarter to lay off some people that were causing them some problems. That's what I believe. Why? Because just one example, the last person in this position, the first one, Camilla, she was fired, she was laid off, and then they opened up the position again very shortly after. If it was that dire of circumstances, why would they fill the position so quickly? 25 layoffs in May, in addition to 30 employee buyouts negotiated between managers and Kickstarter United, the union, and that's another reason why people got laid off. All right, here's a quote here. Kickstarter needed to be a smaller company to be sustainable. Well, there's a good idea. Make it smaller. You're hiring too many fluff. I don't know what else to call them. Extra people that you really don't need. That was Margaret Atwell, newly promoted to Director of Outreach and International after many years of overseeing publishing and comics. In reference to the layoffs and buyouts, so she did not get laid off or quit. She's actually got promoted, and so they replaced her position. After the pandemic struck, the number of projects launched on Kickstarter dropped substantially and became a problem for Kickstarter and for creators. She added, the drop impacted the platform's revenue. It draws a 5% platform fee from campaigns. It would have been better if they didn't discourage people from doing it. for literally no reason. You're not going to get the woo flu by running a crowdfunding campaign. There's no risk. Do it from home. You don't even have to wear pants to do it. Atwell said Kickstarter currently has about 100 employees and is beginning to recover. Oh, that's nice. Kickstarter also launched 2 programs aimed at small publishers and individual artists that it hopes will encourage new projects as it starts to increase the number of campaigns. You know, something you could do is don't gatekeep people, don't kick out campaigns because you think that they're too toxic. You know, that's what it comes down to. They'll let some projects through that are overtly conservative or patriotic. I have seen it. They're out there. So it's not just like, hey, we're gonna kick out conservatives, but they're going to make an example of a few, which is what they've done with. They did it with your boy Zach. They did it with Mike S. Miller. You know, they'll continue to do it, but why? Just don't do it. Let's see. Management is looking for projects that fit the times. That fit the times. Why don't you just look for projects that pay the bills? That could be a good idea. Everyone is stressed over illness and finances, she said. We asked ourselves, how do we help people make money? We're trying to adapt what people need. New initiatives include Lights On, an effort to encourage cultural spaces and inside businesses such as... All right, so here's the thing. No, we'll just leave it there. If you have too many employees, if that was a problem, you need to be a smaller company. Again, stop hiring fluff positions for the sake of fluff positions. Everybody should be doing something that's helping the bottom line. Let's see. A small number of publishers have launched projects as a result of these initiatives, such as Children's Press, Enchanted Lion. Okay, it earned 40,000. All right, we've done that too. How come we don't get news articles on Publishers Weekly? That's what I want to know. They should be interested in this kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see. Here's a quote here. For projects that do launch, the success rate is higher than ever. Backers have demonstrated that they really care about lending their financial support to creative ideas, and they are showing up in a big way for creators whose work they love. This right here is the biggest deciding factor across the board. This is the biggest change that has happened in crowdfunding. And that is that there are backers that are willing, not just willing, they're motivated, they're excited, they're eager to support comic book creators. This has been developing and snowballing over time. It's been over 2 years since I've been at this game. I have seen it happening. It's snowballing. More people are interested. More people are used to the idea of crowdfunding. I've not seen people that genuinely believe it's a scam. In fact, I haven't been scammed. Wait, I've got to check. I don't think I've been scammed yet from anybody whose campaign I've backed. I'm gonna double check that. That's worth looking into. Anyway, regardless, opinions toward crowdfunding has changed, and in comic books, this is really underlying. The comic book fans really want comic books to continue existing. They're paying higher prices. They're waiting longer. All sorts of things to make sure that comics are continuing to be made. Now, I wish that the mainstream could harness this a little bit. And I'm not saying necessarily crowdfunding. I'm just saying people are motivated to support comic books. Give them ways to support comic books, to be excited about comic books. Right now, this is what is exciting people. It's new projects that they feel like they can be a part of. Anyway, so thanks for watching my video. Let me know what you think about Kickstarter. There's a lot of tribalism that happens. I'm an Indiegogo guy. Ultimately, I'm happy that Kickstarter ended up having a good year, and I hope next year, I don't know why it would be any different. Next year, they should have an even better year. for publishing and comics. And that is fantastic. I'd like to see more stuff like this about Indiegogo. I don't know. We have to pretend like it just doesn't exist. That's silly. They have to be having fantastic years. They have to be growing. Just based off of what I'm seeing, I'm seeing so many campaigns and campaigns that do very, very well. And so I don't know. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see the success. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Downcast, Rise and Fall. Get the first 2 volumes if you'd like, and these are the variant covers. These are going to go out of print, so if you want these, this is your last chance to get them. And Fatal is doing fantastic. Help us get up to 90K. Everyone's going to get a improved spine. And not only that, I mean, really, we want to hit 100K. That would be a massive achievement. That would be a really big deal. Help us to get there. What a better book. What a more deserving book to hit 100K than this one. So thanks very much. Check it out, and I will see you in the next video.